Oh, by George, I think we are live. Let me see what is going on. Okay, let's see. It says live. Let me check and wait for my testing. All right, we are live. Have you ever tried to get so many tasks done in such a short amount of time and you're just trying to knock all of those last minute to dos, all those things just to make sure you had a super productive day and you are just like boom, 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 and just getting one knocked off after another. That's what I just finished doing like 15 seconds ago. So I'm going to take just a moment to like have my mushroom wellness tea. This isn't the funny mushroom. This is chaga, cordyceps, reishi, something healthy. I'm going to take my time to have this to decompress because we're going to get into a design session. So if you are watching the replay of this video and wanting to get into the Figma stuff, just go ahead and skip along and we'll be in Figma in a moment. Okay, let's see. I'm going to open up the chat, get this live chat going. I'm actually very excited about what we're going to do because, first off, we're going to be completing a three-part series of an exercise inside of Figma that I was taught and I use and I still use to this day to sharpen and improve my design skills. And that is replicating another site, but down to the little details and doing everything following best practices. So, in the very first video, part one, we set up our design systems, our variables, and we basically got the whole structure built. In episode two, we actually created the mockup, the high fidelity mockup, which was last week. And now, inside this episode, the final one, what we are going to do is take that high fidelity mockup. We are going to use those variables and the design system to, in a very short amount of time, turn that design from something that we replicated into our own. And once you see how that is done and how quickly and easily we could do this, those first two episodes are going to make a lot more sense why it took so much time. Now, episode one and two, those take a lot more time because you're basically building the foundation. But after you do that, things go so much faster. And then after that, we are going to experiment uploading this to Figma Make and seeing the new Figma AI builder, which is basically like Lovable, but built into Figma. We're going to see how that works. I want to geek out. And in fact, I have been geeking out on Figma Make. I got some content coming out around that. I've already sort of created a tool, got it working, then it broke. And, I want to get back to it and try to get it working. My own vibe coding journey. But we're going to see, how does this compare to Lovable? Are we able to just copy and paste frames directly into Figma Make? And is this going to produce like a quality output when it generates the code? We'll also try doing this in Figma sites as well. So we're going to geek out on Figma sites, Figma Make, and just Figma. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Let me see here. And first off, if you do got a question, this is going to be open Q&A. So go ahead and just jump in, leave a Q, ask a question. I'm going to make sure I get to everyone. All right, I'm going to put something in the chat. All right, yeah, just leave a Q if you do have a question for me. So I just threw that in there. Let me go ahead and take a breath, wait for some people to join. All right. Yeah, I've been okay. So we're not going to wait too long. Let me just get in the zone. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Figma. I'm just going to dive into this. I'm going to time myself and I'm going to give myself 20 minutes today to complete a landing page design. We are going to be using an example because I never want to design blind, meaning like just trying to come off from the top of my head. Always have inspirational work to help guide, but it's only there to be inspirational. And now let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, we got that weird thing going on, and I'm going to try something different. Uh-oh, what happened to that? Hope I don't share anything sensitive. Uh-oh, where did it go? Oh, here it is. All right, cool. Let me move this out the way. I'm trying to do a different setup here using my dual screen. So this is going to be my example site right here. Let me go over to Figma. Should be okay. Let me move this over here. By the way, right after this live stream, I do got a new video. This is how it looks, yo. All right. This is how it looks. So tell me, like, what are your thoughts on my latest video? So one thing I started doing was like when I breathe, like I kind of hear like I've always had asthma. So one thing that's been bothering me on my videos is hearing that when I take a breath. And sometimes, like my setup in Final Cut Pro could, like cut that out. But if I turn that on too high, it starts to sound like really choppy and robotic. And so what I have been doing for the last few videos that are shorter videos, I can never do this on long video, it takes too much time. But it's like just chopping out that little, sound or something like that. So let me know. I don't know. But this is how it looks. And that video is coming out soon. And you can see what it's about right there. That's going to come out right after this. It's already locked and loaded. Okay, but we're here for this. So let me just check and make sure we're good. All right. I got my screen here. So if you're dropping comments, I'm going to be able to see that. We're using dual screens today. Got my mushroom tea. Let's go ahead and get a full screen. All right. So we replicated the Manus website. We built we built all of our variables, our design system, and we now are going to create our own design. And I'm going to give myself 20 minutes to do this. So we are going to start with the variables. Let's go ahead and open that up so you can see it. We don't need this anymore. All right, we could replace this. You know what? All right, we'll keep it there. I don't have a logo ready, but what we want to do now is choose. First, I'm going to go to my typography. I don't want to have these fonts. Let me fix that up. So I don't need my mobile. Hold up. Let me see. I'm going to delete that. And I don't need my mobile gaps because I already got my modes going for everything to be responsive. So first thing I'm going to do is Poly Sans. All right, I'm changing my font. Let me go ahead and just use this across the board. Now I know I could go ahead and use like a plugin, or there's even well, if you select a font book will come up and easier ways to change it all the way through. But since we're using a design system, we have to change it in here because this is connected to our styles, which is our global styles. But you can see here already all the font, it has been changed. Let me just get these last details in. This is where the fun really happens. For real. This is where like when you're setting up variables and creating your components, it gets pretty tedious. It could take hours really doing all that. But once you get that all done and you have the setup, this is where things start to get fun. Okay, colors. Let's see here. I'm first going to go with my neutrals. Okay. I got my nighttime on. Usually I have my night shift, but I need to see colors right now. So I have to turn that off to see. All right. You know what I want to do? I want something in the Mm, no, 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 not that. I don't want to do that. Okay, for the neutral 9, let's go here. I am going to be using. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Let's see. And I don't need this either. Let me start closing some of my apps. Okay, I'm going to be using this for my example. I want this color scheme right here. I like this color scheme. This is dope. Okay, let's actually. Did I need that? Oh, yeah. I do RGBA. Let me see if I get hover. If I to work. Of course not. God, this thing is good, but it's only good when it actually works, which is half the time. Okay, we're going to grab that. We're going to grab that. We're going to grab that. Anything else? Oh, wait, what happened? Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. This is going to be for our cool primary. Why is that even there? That's not the vibe that I want for this call. Okay. Let's see. I need to pull up a plugin. And we're going to do color shades. Let's go ahead and pick this color. All right, cool. And this one we will, let me just pull up all my variables so we could do it all at once. This is going to be our accent color, and the blue is going to be our primary color. And then we're going to control the white and the darks. Wow, we even got additional colors too. So I think I deleted some, but it's all good. We can still use them. Okay. Oh, wow. I really did delete a lot. Okay. It's okay. I could use what I have here. All right. So we'll put the accent and let me see. I'm going to have to call this my neutrals. And you know what? Instead of doing color shades, I am going to pick a color palette and build on top of it. I want to sort of replicate this right here. And I'm feeling it. Okay, even the yellow. Perfect. Okay, let's do that. You know what I'm going to do? Instead, we're going to make a quick pivot here. Let's see. I'm going to get all these colors. Let's try to grab this. All right. Okay, this was a big different. This is a totally different direction what I was planning on going in. But that's what I want to do. I want to have some fun with this one. Okay, and then we could go ahead and grab our blue. And we'll keep these other colors open. Probably for different shades of blue is what I'm thinking. This thing is so buggy, this tool. I want to love it. I want to, but it's quite buggy. Oh, we got the Elementor colors happening. Okay. All right. And for these, I am just going to turn these black for right now because I'm not going to use them. And I'll come back and clean these up. All right. For my neutrals now, Let's make sure we get the right white. Let's see what they're using here. That's a good color for the white. All right, let's get the black, which is going to be the opposite side. Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, Wiki, what is going on? So good to see you, Mark. Hello, Ahmed. Okay, I just took a look over at the chat. All right, we're just going to start with these. Let me see what happens when I put this in. Yeah, I wish it would do a little bit different on that. I wish it would. I need to find another one where it could detect if it is the solid color and, link it up. In fact, let me see here. Color shades, tint and shade generator. They're pretty good usually here. There we go. Huh? I don't care for it. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go ahead. I'm running out of time. I got to get this done quickly. Let's go ahead and turn this off. We don't need that now. We got what we need. And now, is there anything else that we need to do? Again, these ones I'm probably maybe not even going to use. I add these shades as a starter, but sometimes we just don't use shades. It all depends on the project. All right. I'm good with that. Let's go ahead now and dive in and start changing some stuff around. All righty. Let's open this up. I'm going to change the content. All right. Leave it to Lytbox. Awesome. Yeah. What's up? Okay. Check this out. Let's fill it. We have our styles already. I'm going to make this dark and I'm going to do the same thing here with my banner. And look here, we have everything organized here, our sections, our containers. This is going to be nice and smooth. Okay, let's go ahead and change these. In fact, I could select on the whole thing, go to my selected colors, and now let's find everything that is not looking right. All right, I'll come back and fix that. You know what? Let's go ahead and give it this pink color. I think that's pretty dope. All right, I got to change this logo. I'm not fond of it. We want to rebrand it. All right, I'll just come back to that later. Let's go ahead and change this up. And then our dark text. And same thing, turn these white. All right. Cool. You know what? I have my new video that is coming out right after this. Let's just go ahead and put that in there. Awesome. Guess what this video is about? And this is where we could start. Let's see. We got a lot of options here. All right. I'm okay with that. Let's see. We'll make this one green and then I'll turn this one color black. And for this one, in fact, what I want to do is give it a stroke. And let's give it a color. Give it a green. We'll remove the fill. Same thing here with the color. Let's go ahead and we'll give it the cream color. All right. And we're going to put in try a light box. All right. So let's see. I could even come back here now and you know what? Let's go ahead and remove the background color for the whole board. Oh, wait, nah, not yet. We're not ready for that yet. Let's go here now and fill and put in our white. Dope. Okay, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. We are going to come back and give it our. You know what? I don't want the clutter. Let me clean up some of this clutter. I'm going to just use what I have. Hmm. Okay, you know what? Let me see. What should I do? I am going to make this just a bright red so I could identify it and fix it later because it's kind of confusing me a little bit. I want to go faster. All right, we're going to make the red colors as the ones that aren't being used yet. So this way, when we do go in, we could quickly identify what is not being used. All right, that to me is doable. Nice. Okay, let's go here and give it no. Let's give it the blue. And then for the borders, again, let's give it a blue. And then for that, I want to give it the blue color as well. And then the use case, let's go ahead and give this one the brand blue as well. All right. And I could actually go here, I believe. Let's see here. Components. Cart M. Oh wait, I have this on my I have it here. So if I edit it here, no, I don't like that. Yeah, it's fine. All right, let's change this. Make sure we get that brand color going on. You know what? I want to do something a little bit different. Okay, we still want to keep that. Yeah, right there. That's the one. Okay. And then for the background of this, let's change that background. And we want something dark. We don't want let's see how this looks. Let's see, it's going to be very elementary. A little too elementary. Huh. Okay. I'm okay with that for right now. Let's go back. Okay, and let's go ahead and do that. All right, nice. Now for this one, let's see here. I want to go back and no, we're going to do a solid to my library. Let's go ahead and play with this a bit. All right. Let's see. We need to get at this. No. We got to get the outline. So let's go ahead and get it clear there. Let's make sure we get the outline and the text. And let's get this one. We want this one to be the light pink as well. All right, that looks dope. It shows a clear hierarchy. Let's also now go back up to our components again. I believe it's this one. Yo, Imran, what's going on, brother? Good to see you here. All right, you know what? I want to expand these out. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And we don't need these so big in this version. Let's definitely take out that stroke and put a dark one. And let's see, what should we fill this with? Let me see here. Yeah, that looks pretty good with the darker. Let's also do that with the stroke as well. All right, that looks clean right there. Let's go back and see what we're working with. Okay, so we've updated this, but not this. So let's go. I didn't create components on these. I probably should have. All right, let's see if we could do all of them like that. And all right, I don't know what I just did. Let's see here. Yeah, I should have created components on this. I messed up on that part. Let's go. Let me see. Hold up. How do we do this? A bottom wrapper, top, bottom. Oh, okay, okay, okay. You know what? I got an idea. All right. And then top wrapper, we'll leave that at the white text. All right. And we will go that white. And then this, again, we'll go with that light. And then right here, too. No, our stroke. Huh. I don't know. I'm not really feeling a stroke on this one. No, I'm not feeling that at all. If anything, that one right there. Okay. And then let's go back here, change that. Same thing, fix that one up. Mm, no, don't want to do that. Let's delete these cards. And then we will duplicate these and let the wrapper do its job. Okay, let's drag this around. All right. Okay, you know what? I'm not feeling this background though. Just not feeling it. And I noticed something. Yep, I messed up on that. So the whole thing got the color done. So I don't want that. I got to make sure it applies to the section. So let me go back here and select the section. Let's collapse all of this. And then let's go to our fill. Let's experiment. No, I do not like that. Do not like that. Do not. That is way Elementor. Okay, this isn't so bad. Oh, that actually is a lot better, huh? Yes, it is. All right, that is so much better. Let's do this now. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and do this as well. No. And then, you know what? I could go to my parents. Let's go and start throwing in some variables. I'm going to change, no, not 20. Let's take it to 50. Okay, that is better, sort of. All right, let's go ahead and delete these again. All right, duplicate, drag them around. Uh-oh. All right. You know what? I'm not too thrilled with all this so far, but I could go into my variables and just change the color directly in there if I'm not happy with the way this is going. Same thing with up here. All right, so something doesn't feel right. There's really no high. I don't know. It's a little too plain, but let's keep going. Because if I get into too many little things, then I'm definitely going to get stuck. Let's just go ahead and select black for all those. Perfect. Okay, that's all good. We could. Okay, this wasn't working. Let's first see. Do we want to try something else? You know what? Let's do that. And then on these cards, let me go back to my components. And I'm going to give this the neutral color. And let's see how this looks now. Okay, much better. Dope, dope. Got it. All right, now for our events. Let's see. And we still have this as well. I'm gonna change this. Our locations. Let me fix that misspell. All right. I think for this one, we should do something a little bit different. First off, let's go ahead and change all of those broken colors. All right, and now I'm gonna do a gradient. Yeah, let's do custom. All right, up here, let's see. Kind of like that. Huh. Kind of goes with the doomsday. All right. And then this, let's go ahead and change that up. Give it the blue. Okay, that is too weird. We gotta do something about that. It's not fitting right. I don't dig it. Hmm. But I got some fixes for that. It is all good. Okay. All right. So things aren't looking the best right now, I would say. Uh-oh. Let's get that. But I got some ideas. Let's take a look at it really quick and see. First off, hmm, I don't dig it. So let's switch this up. Let's go ahead and move some stuff around. Oh no, not that. Move this up. Let's go ahead and drop that in there. All right, we could move this back down to 0. That's fine. We don't even need this in here. You know what? Let's just take it out. Let's go ahead and fix up now our section. So we are using the section banner. Okay, it should be, oh no, top and bottom. Okay, let's use our bigger spacing. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and duplicate this. And we're going to call this small. Oh no, we're going to call this page title yeah, page headline. All right, let's go ahead now and start to flip this around. We're going to start making adjustments through all this. I already got everything set up here. Let's go ahead and align this now. to the left. And we're going to try to use our flex controls or our auto layout as much as possible. Same thing here. Let's go ahead and push this to the left. And then we just need to align all this to the left. Now we got room to do some graphics over here. Let's go ahead and think of a different headline to really make this pop out. Let's see here. Leave it up to, let me capitalize some of this. Leave it to Lytbox for super long live streams. There we go. Because that's what the last few have been. It's all good. I am enjoying this. I hope you are as well. And then for our headline, let's go ahead and fill this in. Give it, oops. Let's go ahead and give it the mint color. Now we could go ahead and do some sort of graphic over here, but I'm not going to touch graphics quite yet. We'll keep that away. We don't need that right now. All right. Okay. Now we're getting a little bit better. Okay. Now this color. So, you know what? I'm not feeling this, and I'm not feeling this background color. Let me go to my variables, and we got the neutral 100. I'm going to actually make this one because this is a little bit creamy for me. You know what? We don't need the 150. I don't even know why the one. Yeah, let me get rid of this 150. I'm just going to delete that variable. Let me go to natural 200. And then here, I'm going to manually change it and just make it a lot lighter. There we go. It should lighten up across the board. And what this is going to do is allow me to use the secondary color just to make it stand out only a little bit. I don't want to do too much. Now I got to decide, do I want this design style? Do I want it where we have a sharp border, or do I want it with a very faint border? I kind of like the sharp border, the way it's looking, especially with these pill-shaped tabs. So let's go ahead and continue with that. Let me go here and change my component just to make it all go faster. You know what? I kind of want to go back to my colors here. Let me see. I want to go back to these colors. I think these colors hit really good. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be changing this. Wrong one. Okay. But it's okay. I still think that color should be changed. And then same thing for this. Let's go ahead and expand this a bit. I'm going to take this to, let me see. Do I have a variable for this? Usually I do for my icons, and I want to use my icon variable. All right, we'll use the icon medium. Oops, I didn't link it. All right, let me redo that. Link these and then use my variable. Because maybe I want to change this to 48 instead of 40. It's easier to do it inside of the variables. Let me make sure I also have the blue color inside of my icon. I think that is way nicer. And the same thing here. Let's use this dark blue. Okay, now that's looking a whole lot cleaner. For this header, okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Let me fix this one. It should have updated, but maybe because I manually already did it, it didn't update. Okay, we're looking a lot better. I want this to be bigger, so we're already using the XXL. Let's just go over to our variables now. And let me go to my typography. And then from here, I could go ahead and adjust it. I'm going to take this to, let me see, 72. All right, that's a bit better, I think. Huh. You know, I'm going to take it to 78. And then for the width, let's close this up. Okay, and where is my width being controlled? Let's apply. Wait, let me make sure. I have to check my containers. Okay, I believe from here I could go to fixed. Okay, it's not. Let me see. Let me fix this up. Okay, that's why. Now I should be able to do that. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and use a variable for this though. I have a 1000 max width variable, which is going to fit perfectly. Now we got to go back here. Again, we always got to look at these boxes and clean up, do the housekeeping on it. Go back and we just got to put in content and bam. But this one, we do need to put in a variable as well for a max width. And I'm going to put max width 500. Ooh, the 500 doesn't look good. Too much text. In fact, that is just nah. You know what? Let's leave that. Take it to 750. This works. I feel like it doesn't have enough line height on it. Let me see. What do we have for our line height? Let me go. This is a text large. You see, it should be text medium for this. I want to change that up. Let me also go and just check out all my settings for this. Let me go to my text medium. Make sure we're good. Okay, 400, 400. All right. Let me go to my global style. I can't wait till we can start doing line heights and percentages inside of our variables. Let's see here. Okay, 175%. That's good. All right. Now, from here, what I would do is come in with a graphic. I would create one, but I do graphics later always. I think a top bar would also be good. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. Inside of the top bar, I am going to, let's delete that. Let's delete this as well. Let's go ahead and give this a background. I would actually make it a little bit lighter. And then from here, let's add in some text. And here we'll go a promotional shout out. And let's go ahead and just add an emoji to get the feel for it. Okay, now we got to fix something because it's not aligned. And I see we have a wait. That shouldn't be there. Let's see what's happening real quick. Just go through one by one. Okay, hug. And then in our section, okay, that's it. Hug content. It's always the hugs that get you. Always. Always check those hugs. And then from here, there's button text. Now, I don't want a button. Let's just go to text. Maybe we'll do a text medium, right? I don't know. Let's see. I'm just going to do a text small. Okay, I think a button text probably will work better because it's a little bit more bold. Okay, starting to build up, starting to look a lot cleaner. And I do like the text large right here. That looks pretty good. All right. Now for these next ones. So I'm really not digging the direction of too many colors, especially the pink, but I do like these. So I'm good with it. What I'm going to do actually here. Oh, I like this. I was thinking to make it dark, but I don't want to make it dark. Let's go ahead and make this dark. Okay. All right. This already, I'm feeling it. All right. Let's go ahead and then in the background, booyah. Check that out. All right. And then here, let's go ahead and get these. Yeah. Okay. Now we are talking. Let's go up here. You know what? Nah, let's go ahead and put that. And do we need? Nah, that's good. I like that. But this here, we need to do something with that. And let's go ahead and give it the color. Ooh, I noticed something though. These are not filling up. All right, what happened? We did have full. No, it's not that. Okay. So I messed something up here. Let's go ahead and close this up. Let's fix this. All right, hug. Nah, that's not. Okay, let's go to. Oh, that wasn't it. Select all children to fit. Okay. Hmm. Okay. But then we don't have the same height right there. That's the part that gets me. Uh, let me see. All right, we're setting to fill. You know what? Let's see. Maybe we can manually do this. Yeah, much easier. Much easier. Okay, everything's still within the lines, but they aren't. They aren't. I can see like this line is off, and that's going to bother me. Fill container. Okay, that's what we needed to do. All right. Again, fill container. All right, you can see my OCD kicking in. All right, I can't help it. If I see something is off, it's kind of like when you're building the site as well. If you see like your elements are breaking out of whatever boxes and whatever builder you're using, you got to find out where it is breaking and why. You just can't leave it like that because for me, that's what differentiates a professional from an amateur work. Like you got to get those little details. You can't just ignore them when you see them. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just delete these. In fact, we should delete all of them because those ones, I don't want to have to go through each one, fixing them since I already fixed, oops, the other ones. So let me go here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's go ahead and just drag these around. No, we don't want to do that. Drag it in there. You know what? I like this better up here. I don't know, just having a call to action underneath the cards just didn't feel right. I don't even know if I want to have the call to action. Yeah, I don't want this call to action. Not here. We should have. Do you know what? No, wait, hold up. Disable it. Let's bring this call to action down over here. That's going to look better. And then up here, what we could do is instead, we'll do custom. Let's go ahead and use this. Ooh, that looks dope right there. Okay. You know what? I dig this as it is. So I could do this. We got the accent. Let's go in now, detach it, and keep it in the same spectrum. Okay. I like that. All right. I like that. And the events as well, huh? It's not too bad. I probably instead, though, would let me see on this color here. I might go with that. Maybe do this so it blends. kind of like following this, where it just sort of has two sections blending. Then this will do the same. Okay. And I think we should add new colors. You know what? No, we could do it just like this. Okay, show selected oh, uh, I would have to go into each one of these. All right. Mm, the details. All right, now we got to get this outside one. Remember, we put a radar on this. Ooh, I try selecting the whole thing. Oh no, I didn't hold shift. Oh, not that. I tried selecting all of them at once, but it just wasn't doing it. I had to go in deeper. So let's do that. All right. And you see, it already has the opacity variable set up on it. That's why it's so light. And we're about to get to one of my favorite parts, pricing cards. Okay, did we change this? Good. We changed that. This is looking good. All right, that's all looking good. Ooh, okay. Now we're gonna wrap it up with the pricing cards. The only thing is, all this text looks really messy right here. So I am going to let me see. Yeah, I didn't follow this at all. I kind of went off on my own thing, but it's okay. I don't have too much time. I just grabbed a little bit of inspiration. Let me grab some Lorem Ipsum. All right. So, what I'm going to do is, you know what? I will do copy this. Just to give it a little bit of difference. So that way we could see it kind of not looking, it looks bad when you see it like that. Like you can't really get a good idea of what it is. Let's go here to 1000, no, 1000, and this one will be 20,000. And let's do this one right here. Okay, let's copy that, paste that, paste. All right. And then we'll just give a bit of variety here. When we're in this stage creating the design, the high fidelity mockups, one thing you want to avoid is getting stuck in content and getting stuck trying to create graphics. That all, like, we structure the content, but at the same time, it's like when it comes to graphics and stuff, we got to do that in its own step. We don't want to get stuck doing that. We take all that out. We don't want to get stuck trying to do that when we design because it'll take way too long. Oops. All right. Okay. And now we could go through and just copy and paste all of this. In fact, okay, copy, paste to replace. Paste to replace, and I'll just go back and change this up to 1,000 and 20,000. All right, this is going to be basic plus pro. This one is going to be, let me see, 29 a month. And then this one is going to be 3.99 a month. All right. Now I got to decide, do we want to turn this into cards? I do. I like cards. Or I at least have, I got an idea actually. I want one of these to be highlighted. Let's do something fun. I got a really good idea on this one. All right, Phil, let's go ahead and fill this in. All right. First off, for these, let's go ahead and do we want to give it yes, I want to give it the blue color. Let me give this the white. And then for all these, make it really easy. I like it light on the eyes. All right. Let me make sure we do have all of our colors doing good. So we got some purple going on. Let's remove that. We don't want to use that color anymore. Free. You know what? How would that look? Not too bad. Yeah, it throws everything off. That's not good. I don't like 4 options, though. 4 options is just too many for me, but maybe we'll delete one. Huh. Actually, let's delete one. All right. And then let's do this. We are going to, let me see, we're going to add another text in here. We're going to call this featured, or let me see, most, oh God, I'm losing track of words right now. Most used plan, most purchased plan. Okay, we'll just do that. Purchase plan. All right, now what we're going to do on this is turn this into an auto layout, and we're going to call this highlight bar. All right, we now are going to fill it. We're going to fill it with the black. Let me get the text. We are going to make this text. You know what? I want this text to be green. And then we are going to give it the width, fill container. Oh, wait, no. This needs to be fill container. All right. Now we need to, let me see. We got to adjust inside of our card. Wait, what is this rectangle doing here? Looks like a shape stuck in here that should not be in here. Yeah. Messing up my layout. Is it in the others as well? It is. What is this shape? Oh, it's something. Must have been a mistype. Let's clean that up. All right, we're about to wrap this up. I am just going to finish this part, and then what we're going to do is put this inside of Figma Make. Let's see here. Let's go to this card. You know what? I could do 2 things here. Let's go make it small. And I'm going to throw an emoji on here. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Now, I could always make this a position absolute. Oh, no, not for that. Get the whole bar. It's kind of easier to do, really, in this situation. And then for the card, let's go and open this up. And on the padding top, let's give more. I'm going to give padding top 60. All right. And then for this one, though, let's see. Okay, so our card, it has a border radius of 12 pixels. So we got to do that to our top and bottom for our highlight bar. So let's go to our border radius, but open it up and use our variables. Radius 12. And again up here, radius 12. All right. And you know what? I want a little bit more spacing inside of here, a little bit more padding. In fact, we shouldn't have any gaps. We don't need it. Let's go ahead and give a top bottom padding. Maybe just like, let me try 4. Yeah, that looks good right there. All right. So if we're going to do that, though, we do need to make sure our colors are, I don't know. This looks dark to me. Okay, there it is. I knew that was off. Same thing with this. We need to make sure those prices, all those stay the same. Though, but this green is just too green for me. So let's see about the lighter green. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to stick with this. And now let's go ahead and let's see here. We should not have that. Do we have auto layout going on? We do. Good. You know what though? I love my Doomsday, but I think we need to choose different events, different graphics, because I don't know. I feel like if I was going to turn this into, something like fun for me, I probably would leave it in there, but I want to put something else in here that just fits like the colors of it. Let's go ahead and just put something. Yeah, I want to see what else we could work with. Okay, so we have art. Yeah, that actually is so much better. Huh. What do you guys think? Should I be getting the plus? I really feel like getting the plus. I mean, $4 a month. I feel like all the good images now are underneath the paywall, which, is actually kind of a good thing if we're using images for websites and projects because if we pay for it, we're licensed. You just got to make sure you check the license, but we are licensed, and I know with this, it's a safer than using the free ones. Let's also go here and remove these borders. In this case, I don't think a border is needed, so I'm just going to remove it altogether. And I'm not feeling now, looking at it from a higher level, I'm not feeling this color. So I'm actually going to go and see. Yeah, let me put on the cream. Okay, this one is going to be that white color. The top one I'll make, the cream. Yeah, that looks cleaner. Even these. All right, there's still balance issues going on here that I'm not happy with, that I need to go back through and fine tune it. But the whole point of this is an example to show how we could take something that we have, something that's already built correctly, and how we could quickly adapt it, change it, use our own styles, change those styles, and then turn it into one of our own projects. And, there's some things on me, the balance is off. I feel like from here, if we put a graphic, that could look pretty good with the right background or right graphic in it. I think going into this, it looks clean, but I start getting lost here. I think these that's probably it right here would be these quotation marks. I would like to take and I see the pink still got through. All right. Let me just go back and geek out, finish this up. Were these components? I believe they were. Yep. Okay. Let's go back here. Remove that. Just take it all the way out. Let's also go and let's give this an opacity of, we'll say, let's see, 50. No, we'll do it even less. 25. All right. Let's go back and see. Okay, cleaner was overdoing it with the green. We want the green, the highlight color to stand out. It was being used too much, and that was bothering me. Okay, let's expand this a little bit and let's keep that as it is. Now the next thing is, let me see. Plugins. Manage plugins. Let's see. Let's get a logo generator. I haven't used this one. Let's see what we get. Oh, I think it's for brands. All right, no problem. Back here. Let's go back to manage plugins. We'll go logo. And I'll just use the logo Ipsum. All right, let's go ahead and we'll drop that in there. Let's give it a variable. And no, that's not the one to do. Let's go to max width. All right, we're not going to mess around with the variable right now. 220. 220 is too big. I would say 180. All right, let's go ahead and give it a color. And it's not even, so there's something going on. And it looks like, all right, let's fix this real quick. Check our hugs. Okay, there we go. It wasn't in the container. All right. Now let's take a look. What time is it? Ooh-wee. Okay. I went longer than planned again. Okay. Decent, decent. It's okay. It's a starting point. Let's try this now. I'm going to go back here and let me go to Figma Make. Let's check out Figma Make. So I have been working with it and check it out. You could paste a frame in here. So let's give that a try. And it is running on Claude Sonnet 4. Let's see if I could just paste this whole thing, copy it, paste it. Okay, some things are coming up saying invalid image or thumbnail was removed. I tried this before on a full design. Yeah, it's too big. It's too big. I think we have to go through section by section, which really, really sucks. Like, I don't know. Maybe we could group our header. Okay, section, promo bar. Okay, section, header. So I am actually going to, let's go ahead and auto layout this, turn it into a frame because you have to have it as a frame to paste it. You can't do a group. So I'm going to call this, let Let me just call it yeah, header section. And let's go ahead and copy this. And again, try Figma Make. Okay, it looks like it can. Okay, I'm going to say turn this high fidelity design into a into a landing page built with clean code and using all the variables and keeping a detailed variable library.
I understand you want to convert a high-fidelity design into a clean-coded landing page, utilizing all
I'm not
necessary
talking to you.
variables.
Oh my gosh. How did that? I don't even know which AI picked that up. I don't know which one. That didn't sound like my chat GPT. That was something else. I don't know. That's scary, right? Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Keep a detailed variable list and use Tailwind framework. And build the landing page. Let me see. Landing page as a web app using Next.js. Let's see what happens. Sure, to get the values exactly precise using the variables used in the frames of the design. Okay. All right, let's see what we come up with. This is just going to be the header, and then we'll come out with more. Let's take a look at the code, see what it does. Sometimes it takes a little while. Okay. Let's do the preview, what's happening here. So I've already started building with Figma Make, and I created a mind mapping tool. It was going well, but then for some reason I let it be. I came back and like all the updates I did, like it reverted back to an older version and the new stuff wasn't saved. So it's still in beta. There's still some glitches in it. But when I built this tool, I built it with Lovable at the same time. And I was using both same exact prompts in Lovable and in Figma Make. And I got better results in Figma Make. Like it just came out better, faster, and after 5 prompts, you run out of the I'm not paying for Lovable quite yet, but after 5 prompts it just wasn't workable on Lovable, but it was getting workable on Make. But I got access to it, I think cuz I'm on the paying plan for Figma, but so far I haven't been asked to pay anything and I went for like hours on it already and no issues, no slowdowns, nothing at all. It's going to be interesting how this pans out, especially if we could copy and paste our designs directly in here. I mean, Figma sites, the code is messy, like it's not good. But then again, Framer's code is really bad as well. Take a look at a Framer website, go in there, it's full of divs, really bad as well. So, okay. Let's see here. We need to fix a couple things. All right. The top bar is not full width, and the text in the top bar uh needs to follow the global styles from the Figma frame and be center aligned. Be center aligned. Okay. Then the button in the header needs to have a background color of the brand green, just like in the Figma design. Same for the left button. Yeah, same for the left button in the hero banner. It needs the background and the text styles to be fixed so they match the mockup design identically. Let's see how long that takes to fix. And the fonts aren't working either. That's what I noticed too. Maybe because they're custom fonts that I added in. Let's see if we could get those to work. So yeah, this is going to be a whole other live stream right here, seeing if I could get this to work. This, obviously it takes time if you wanted to get it done right. And this is where design skills are still needed with AI tools. You got to be able to notice, hey, is this font correct? Is it following the right, the right typography styles that we had set? You got to still be able to see that. Like, I do not see these AI tools replacing us in any way at all. They would have to get so good. And even then, you still need a professional designer who knows how to look for stuff, knows how, to follow design practices, things like that. But yeah, okay. Try Lytbox. Fix the styling by removing the unnecessary left button wrapper. Okay, let's see here. This did not fix it. Man, this button have a background color. I want to like yell at it sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, come on. Like, it's a button. Where's the background color? Let me just keep it simple. Like, this should be easy to fix. All right, we're going to be wrapping it up. This went on quite a bit longer than I was planning. Check it out. In the next lives, though, we're going to be doing something different. I kind of find like these kind of videos right here are for a few, and I'm going to be starting to do them inside of our community on Circle, where on YouTube I'm going to be doing more live streams, like just connecting, bringing on guests, and like creating some more interactions. Because look at when I started working on this, I just get in the zone. Sometimes I forget I'm even inside of a live stream. So yeah, I'm experimenting with stuff right now, seeing what works and what doesn't. But if you do dig this, then definitely join our circle community, and that way you could join while I'm like geeking out, setting up video stuff like that. Okay, uh looks better. The try Lightbox button has been fixed. Can you fix the button in the header the same as done for the try Lightbox button? I'm gonna just do this, see if I could get that button to work, and then see if I could change the fonts because they added the wrong font. This looks to me like Enter, and it's not the Poly Sans, which is my brand's font. Okay, still terrible. Can you replace the font family? Family with Poly Sans fonts. Let's see. Will it do it? And then I'm just going to check out the code and bounce out of here. So far, it hasn't been too slow. Like, it's been okay. Let's see. Let's take a look at our globals. Why do they have animate in here? I have no idea. Let me see. I need to replace the font family, Poly Sans medium and Poly Sans neutral with Poly Sans. Oh, you see, it did. It didn't input it correctly. So that's why it's not going to read right on my device. Okay, I don't think it's going to get it. I doubt it. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if it finishes. Come on. Come on, make. Let's see. Hmm. Okay, it looks like it's getting stuck right now, and I don't want to hold you guys hostage any longer. So, with that said, let's see here. Okay, so let me go ahead and turn that down. Look at this is to me, this was a fun experiment, doing something like this and trying to just like run through some exercises live. And I know that, these things are when we're teaching them on YouTube and creating content to teach them, it's a little bit more focused and has room for editing and for cutting a lot out. But truth is, if you were to see behind the scene, and I'm sure you could ask anybody else, inside of our space creating content, that it takes a lot much more time. It takes a lot longer time to actually build something, to set it all up. You got to go through it and walk through it. And you can see when we are actually creating a design, there are things we could do to set it up to streamline it. There are things we could do to try to get it done faster. But then at the same time, it still takes time to really get in the zone, to really put in some care. And when it comes to like design and Figma, sometimes you can get away with crushing a design in a couple of hours if you're like really in the zone. Like I've had my best design sessions in airports. For some reason, give me in an airport, sleep deprived, and just pounding coffee with like a 4-hour layover, and I could crush it with just something. I could just create something dope. But there are times too where I could just be inside of my office, my setup with my dual screens and everything. And like we start designing and it doesn't feel right. You have to like go out, get some sunlight in the eyes. You have to like take some breaks. You got to kind of reset. You got to go take a look at some inspirational pieces. And these are parts of the design process. Like it doesn't happen really quick, especially if you want to get those little details and deliver professional results. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this 3-part series. I knew that these are going to take time because it shows imperfections happening, mistakes happening, and problem solving happening all live. And then working through that and turning something imperfect and trying to find out what is wrong with it. Like, when we were designing this, I discovered that I was overusing our highlight color, and how to make those adjustments. And that's part of the process. So, creating content, creating courses, those are going to be something where we could really fine tune everything, cut it all out, and make it much more streamlined. To keep it real, when it comes to creating a course, like a proper course, for me, it takes months. It is an insanely amount of work that goes into it, because you can see a session could take, like for us, 3 episodes at about an hour and a half each. That alone is like, almost a full day's work. Sometimes maybe a half day's work, but you see what I mean. So look, we're going to be running more experiments, but I'm going to be doing this inside of our community space on Circle. I'm always setting up things for for videos, for content. And when I do that, I actually got to build things. I got to try it out. I got to do research. I got to fact check, and I got to practice it and go through it, and just like, you know, really get into it and show the process. So as I'm doing that, I'm just going live inside of our community. And still in the experimental phase. But with that said, coming up here on YouTube, I have a lot of awesome people that I connect with, a lot of people that I want to have just some deep conversations, some, things that I feel is going to have a whole lot of value for everybody out there building a web design business, trying to learn web design skills. And so we're going to be bringing on guests. We're going to be doing other things like AMAs, and just some flat out, just like geeking around, talking smack. When it gets late at night, I put my foot in my mouth and I lose my filter. So I'll have some of those sessions where there's just no filter. So that's where we're at right now. And look, I don't see any questions inside of the chat. I appreciate everybody for joining. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And I hope this series, you got something out of it. I hope you're able to learn something that's helping you inside of your web design journey. That, to me, makes it 100% worth it. Well, thank you for joining, be part of this, and we'll have